Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
This is Sweet and Sour Barry Sweeney, 19-time ICWA Texarkana TV champion, and you are listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Wrestling Mayhem Show.
.com.
It's the best day of the week. Today is the day that you have chosen to listen to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. This is DJ Lunchbox, putting it the fuck down for you. Let's fucking do this. Monday night, you know it must be raw. Leaders being a whore and not wearing a bra. Seen his damn belt still spinning around his waist. I can shit better rhymes on what comes out of his face. Tuesday night and it's EC Dub. Michael Q Knoxville join the club. If you're sick of the shit, scream out boo boo. This ain't EC Dub and we can tell that too. Wednesday night, ROH on DVD, the best wrestling on the planet to the nth degree. Joe Damon's Delirious, Daniel City, Kimikaze, Homicide, the Rottweilers, and Kenta Kobashi. Thursday night, TNA on Spike. Bruce's spoken, so that means I'm puking blood tonight. Shut up and show me the damn X division and get SoCal balance in my line of vision. Friday night SmackDown, this is all life. Kicking back, watching wrestling every night. Kenny, Boogeyman, Helms, Hardy, Guerrero, London, Kendrick, and stealing the show. RWF Scion in the weekly features. You're a student, we are the teachers. Shout outs to Jimbo's crew and to the D's, putting it down for Vim with the greatest of ease. Wrestling Mayhem Show, like a blast to your chest. You can't.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Wrestling Mayhem Show 218. It's May 11th. It's cold. It's rainy. It's really shitty. I feel like it's March again right here in the Steel City. And of course, with me as always on our brand new line on the Skype is the DJ Lunchbox. How you doing this evening?
Captain Cabinets, trapped in cabinets. Can he get out? Will he get out? Because he will. Captain Cabinets, trapped in cabinets.
But you're not trapped in a cabinet.
And there's another voice there. There's another voice that's not on camera. It's our intern of the show. Wife of the show turned intern of the show. Rebellious Flaw. At Rebellious Flaw. How you doing tonight?
I'm still trying to decide whether this intern thing is a promotion or a demotion.
Yes, we don't have her on camera yet. But she's meant to keep things straight in the background. So, you know, when I'm panicking, somebody's here in the studio to slap me. So.
Oh, yes.
But she'll be there on the Twitter lines and everything, and maybe a fact checker, maybe some other things. So hopefully that means things will run a little bit smoothly in the background here at Wrestling Mayhem Show. And LB, you're rocking the Jedi look this week.
I am. That's because I'm a Jedi. You didn't get the memo, clearly.
Are you blocking escapees from thieving the comics at on comic book stores on Free Comic Day? And
Sorg, you're high again.
What, you haven't heard about this?
No.
The store owner dressed as Spider-Man that stopped somebody trying to steal an X-Men comic and then told the Jedi to block the door.
That's awesome.
Look it up. It up. Some great stuff. But this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. No guests this week. Nothing planned. We're not planners. That's why we have an intern now. So it's going to be a lot of discussion, a little bit, a lot going on. Raw was in town last night. Super Indie over this weekend, hence the T-shirt. And a lot of other things to discuss in indie and wrestling and everything going on in the news. But before we get all into that, I want to remind all you guys to hop over to WrestlingMayhemShow.com for all the information, updates, and everything going on right there. And of course, you can join us live in the chat that comes up. You can join us up to an hour before the show in the chat room to see what's going on. Of course, join our Facebook page. That gets updated with everything as we get updated on the website as well. Our Delicious account at delicious.com/wrestlingmayhem, where you can follow our stories that we get to and don't get to. Of course, Twitter at Mayhem Show. There it is. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Missing my buttons. Next we need a switcher. There's the at Mayhem Show Twitter for you video guys. Of course, please stop over to support the Mayhem at the Mayhem store, where we got a lot of the designs, and we're always looking for new ones. Any suggestions? I have actually a few in queue that we might be getting up there in the next couple weeks. And of course, as usual, whip it out, Lunchbox. Oh, you don't have that anymore, do you? You have crashed your.
Wait, what am I whipping out? What's happening?
The App Store. The application.
Oh, yeah, it's a little under the crunch.
That's right. There's the app right there. People are telling us it's a really easy way, and we just got the numbers in for our second month. A lot of people bought it, so thank you very much for supporting the app. It's got lots of videos that we don't put up on the show on the stream for everybody else. And you get a nice little wallpaper there. There's the should I wrestle that T-shirt as a wallpaper this week. Somebody's twittering me. Yes, that's the intern is apparently twittering. But we got lots of videos. Well, and now everybody else saw it. That's great. And there's our stuff last week. There's a little bit extra deal. There's this crazy hair. Look at that. But we got that a little bit on the show. This week, I think we're going to have a special phone call that I don't think we're going to put on the show. But is it still interesting enough? We're going to toss up for you, gold guys. And whatever else. A lot of us insulting WrestleFan and talking about his mom and stuff like that. But, just an extended cut. And I think we talked about did we talk about comic books last week? Am I remembering that right?
I think we got into it just a little bit.
Of course. Whoops, let me get you on there proper, and we'll get on with the show. So LB, not a lot of voicemails this week.
That's correct. But I've come prepared because I know there's not a lot of voicemails this week, and I know we need content. So I've come with filler content. I am. Well, I didn't provide the filler. To be fair, William Regal provided the filler. Now, do you want me to do it now, or do you want me to save it till after?
Go for it. So, why not?
All right. This is completely ridiculous. If any of you watched Raw last night, you saw William Regal rapping, and hopefully I can do it justice. Straight out of Blackpool, I'm William Regal. My rhymes so intense they should be illegal. My style is refined, yours crude and crass. I'll keep you down like volcanic ash. I'll take you down rung by rung like British Parliament. I'm completely hung. Straight up gangsta trippin', yes, boy.
Now imagine all that in an English accent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Raw was interesting. Meatloaf. We'll talk about that a little bit later, of course. But we got a couple things in here from the voicemail, so let's go ahead and cue that up.
It's time to reach out and choke some.
Calls from the Mayhemers.
And as usual, all three of these are from Big Freaky. So we'll get right into that. But hey, Big Freaky, good contributor. And he had a few different things. Let's go ahead this up. I think this is the first one.
Holy crap, man. I was just listening to the radio. The new Natalie Merchant song came out. She's singing like a kid's song. As far as the NXT thing goes, well, you say they're trading up to SmackDown, but why wouldn't you want another one? I mean, USA Network had how many wrestling shows in a week at one point? Like, the people who watch NXT aren't going to watch SmackDown?
So, yeah, that's an interesting question. So why wouldn't Sci-Fi just want more wrestling? One is Sci-Fi. I can't think of anything that's been on that channel that's made sense in the last 5 years. Let's go back to the ECW Zombie, okay? and from there on. I don't know. They could. Oops,
yeah, but
they were playing the other one. They could just not want to, push the envelope with it. And maybe why would they want NXT when they got something as good as SmackDown that's proven on a lesser channel, So, any thoughts, LB?
I completely agree with you, sir.
All right.
Sci-Fi doesn't want wrestling because it's too real for sci-fi.
There you go. Well,
better scripts than Raptor Planet.
Yeah, actually, yeah. They're trying to siphon off some of the writers. So, and I believe this next one, I don't know if you're familiar with the Michael Tarver. on NXT.
The Michael Tarver.
Yeah, but you didn't post what I said about Tyrone Evans, a.k.a. Michael Tarver. Now, I could see Big Zeke being the next Virgil, too. Although, I think they have such a good thing going with this whole Book of Ezekiel thing. Besides that, I hope it's Michael Tarver, because they're going to... have you seen the house show results? DiBiase's in the main events in tag matches. So, they're obviously giving him a look, if nothing else, to see if he can hang in the main events. So, that'd be a great spot for Tyrone. I'm just saying that as a fanboy. But, hey man, if they pull the trigger on that 1.9 second knockout thing, I mean, that'd be the perfect, bodyguard / valet thing, gimmick for, him to have.
I don't know what he's talking about at the end there with the knockout.
You know what? I disagree. I don't think it should be either one of those. It should be Michael Tarver or Ezekiel. I think Ted DiBiase showed that he is a savvy businessman, because for the price of one black guy, he got 2 Mexicans last night.
No, they're Cuban. They're Cuban, first of all.
Well, Cubans are even cheaper, so he can get a Mexican, and he's already got the 2 Cubans. It's an exchange. There's an exchange.
You have to bear with me. There's a loose wire. Every time I touch the board, everything cuts out. So, all right. But interesting with this Michael Tarver thing. And I know Freaky mentioned before on one of his voicemails, probably one that I didn't air here. But let me knock over there. There's actually over there on AIWrestling.com for Absolute Intense Wrestling. They have a DVD up of Who's Next, the best of Tyrone Evans, of his stuff up there. So if you're interested, they have that available. But yeah, I guess he was a pretty good fixture in their scene up there in Cleveland. So I was kind of surprised at that. So another local guy there represented NXT. Got one more thing from Big Freaky. This one's a little bit about TNA and the ongoing story of Big Bubba.
Well, Impact, the Bubba the Love Sponge thing. Yeah, that is just the most caustic pairing ever. And I do like the analogy about Bubba and, TNA, the knee-jerk reaction thing. Because, maybe if TNA were more established, if WWE were to bring in Bubba, I think it'd be bad because of the whole publicly traded company thing, but I could see where they could get away with doing it. But with TNA, they are not really an established entity yet to the mass market.
Mm-hmm. I agree with him with that as far as I guess handling it, but I don't think Bubba would have flew as long in WWE as he did in TNA. But yeah. All right, man. Well, let's go ahead to the break, and we'll come back. I know WrestleFan has some indie wrestling news. We'll talk a little bit about Super Indie and everything else going on, and going on around here. And we have a question for the Mayhemers that we'll get to about indie wrestling and DVDs and what they dig and don't dig. So where are we listening first, LB?
First up is the Shanghai Restoration Project and Amos Winbush. The name of the song is Babylon of the Orient from the Shanghai Restoration Project. We've played a few tracks from this before, and good stuff. So enjoy. Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just holler. Come on and holler back. When you gonna holler? When you gonna holler back? Hey, come on and holler. Want you to holler back. Want you to holler. Just holler back. Hey, let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Come on and holler back. When you gonna holler? You gonna holler back, hey, hey, hey. Just holler. Won't you come and holler back? Want you to holler. Come on, holler back, baby. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Let me holler, baby. Let me holler, baby.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show recommends highspots.com for all of your wrestling needs. Whether you're a wrestling fan, worker, or promoter, looking for figures, DVDs, or equipment, Highspots has what you're looking for.
Hi, I'm Sorg from the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Whenever I want to buy my Lita and Edge figures so I can make them anatomically correct with some model paint and have my very own live sex celebration, I get them at highspots.com. But not the modeling paint.
Click the link for Highspots on WrestlingMayhemShow.com to support the show when you want to purchase anything wrestling related. Highspots has what you're looking for.
Mayhemers, it's your teacher, Mayhem Missy, here again in the semi-city of Philadelphia. And way back in the distance, we're standing outside the arena, waiting to get into the show. But there's history all over the city. Way in the distance, I'm not even sure if you can see it, is the Ben Franklin Bridge. And as we were driving around, someone said, why is it called the Ben Franklin Bridge? Luckily, I was here to educate. The Ben Franklin Bridge was in fact built piece by piece by Benjamin P. Franklin. And he built it, he designed it, he drew up his little pictures, he flew his kite on it, he invented light bulbs on it. Everything that Ben Franklin did happened right on that bridge. That's another little history fact.
I'm learning things!
This is Lightning Mike Quackenbush, the master of 1,000 holds, and you're listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show from WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Sorg of the Wrestling Mayhem crew.
Let your instincts guide you.
At WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
I cannot believe it. We're here in Dayton, Ohio for Ring of Honor, the greatest wrestling of all time, and this is Jim Cornette, and I'm waiting to see you morons, and where are you? You're in Philadelphia. We're not going to be in Philly until May 21st and 22nd at the arena. Then you need to be in Philly. Now you should be in Dayton. Your friend here, your friend Tim's the only one that has any sense. Fuck all of y'all. Thanks, bye.
That was DJ Lunchbox and his phone reminding us about the time Jim Cornette called us
Yeah,
And,
that was pretty awesome.
Remember that was awesome when you were in Baltimore and I was in Philadelphia with Mad Mike and Missy and Doc Remedy and Tim was in Dayton and we got called and told to fuck off by Jim Cornette. Those are some good times right there.
That was the shit. That was wondrous.
Yes. And we'll see what happens when I go say hi to him in Philly in about a week and a half. So, I'll let you know how that goes. Anyways, it is now time. We got a Wrestle fan joining us from Texas on the line.
Wrestle fan.
That's right. It's time.
Guess what, kids? It's time for the Indie Minute.
Yay!
Yay!
So, Wrestle fan, what is going on in the world of indies?
Well, one of the things definitely to look out for this week in indie wrestling, for those looking for some good indie wrestling on your pay-per-view screen.
Is it still indie wrestling if it's on pay-per-view? I mean, have we blurred that line now?
I am not sure, sir. I need some kind of, something, but...
Somebody get me a rolling.
Yeah, but what I'm
Yellow
talking
card.
about, obviously...
What?
Yellow
Dragon
card.
Gate USA.
That's for ruling.
Let the man talk. Let the man talk. He's got important things to say. Dragon's Gate USA.
Coming on pay-per-view Friday, May 14th for their next offering, Mercury Rising, taped during WrestleMania weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. Currently, the lineup for the show is the debut of a Dragon Gate tradition, if you will, the six-man tradition match, which is basically a six-man tag match, but very Dragon Gate Japanese style. It'll be the team of Sema, Dragon Kid, and Gamma taking on BB Hulk, Naruki Doi, and Masato Yoshino. Also scheduled for that night will be the Open the Freedom Gate title match as Yamato defends his belt against Susumu Yokozuka. In a pretty turn from the normal Dragon Gate style, it will be a hardcore match between Jon Moxley taking on former ECW and WWE star Tommy Dreamer. Another interesting match, tag action, Paul London and Brian Kendrick teaming to take on the team of Jimmy Jacobs and Jack Evans, where the loser of the fall must leave Dragon Gate USA. So, definitely going to be some intrigue in that. And then finally, a special challenge match when Genki Horiguchi goes one-on-one with Shingo. And for those that want to check that out, contact your local cable provider, whether Events in Demand, Viewer's Choice, various other pay-per-view providers, and tell them you want to order Dragon Gate USA Mercury Rising Friday, May 14th, live on pay-per-view.
We broke their page. There you go. There's the big poster with...
Yeah, Naruki Doi.
There you go. That guy that I can't pronounce. So, wow, you actually know these guys' names. I'm impressed. I really am impressed. It's really hard. I thought it was tough enough learning names in Chikara, but with all these Japanese guys in here, you know.
There's a reason you have me on for the Indie Minute.
Yes, to learn Japanese.
The Cuban.
I don't know what the Mexicans are thinking. I forget which mic is yours over here. I think we broke it again. What?
Do I need to put my mic close to my mouth?
No, it's not a closer to your mouth thing. Sorry, I'm talking about the intern. What was that, WrestleMan?
I was gonna move on to we go from Dragon Gate all the way to Southern California Wrestling. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla had their big DDT4 show, which is pretty much their tag team tournament for the tag team championships. Teams like the Young Bucks, including the Briscoe brothers, also various others competing in that tournament. However, the team coming out on top and the new PWG Tag Team Champions, the pretty interesting team of El Generico and former WWE star Paul London.
Interesting.
Coming out with the tag team titles. They're being titled, their team named Peligro Abejas, I think is how you pronounce it. And you can also go to PWG's YouTube page to check out a pretty interesting is a good word promo from the new champions, El Generico and Paul London, at youtube.com/PWG Wrestling. And that's all the indie news I have, but I know there's a little bit of extra, as you see right there, the video. I know there's a little bit of extra indie news on your side of the fence, Sorgatron.
That's right. We had... That's me. Thank you.
That is you.
Yeah, we just had the big Super Indie show here in Western PA that I was at. Mayhem Missy was around for that. The Silent Ninja and everything. Actually, there's a picture right there in the front of IWCWrestling.com of the participants, and there's more stuff going on. Hey, Hentai's in a ladder match. And of course, again, supporting the site. It was supporting the shirt, got to support indie wrestling. They had t-shirts for the event. Well, first of all, I know I think we talked about before with Chikara, maybe it was on show, maybe it was off, about how it was great how to see kind of the representation of the other groups at King of Trios, whether it be AIW from Cleveland, Dragon's Gate, and Evolve were represented and selling DVDs there. A lot of wrestlers from all those organizations were involved in the tournament. Super Indie kind of was the same thing. Because there was Chikara wrestlers, Lindsay Dorado. Am I getting that right this week, WrestleFan?
Yes, you're actually getting that right.
I'm learning this. I'm learning about Chikara. I'm gonna know all this stuff by the time they come to Cleveland next month. And of course, Frightmare, who I think everybody loved. And we had Aeroform. Both members of Aeroform were there representing Cleveland. Or Michigan, or wherever they might come from. It was a really good tournament. I was kind of worried because if you looked at the bracket, it was a 12-man tournament ending in a 3-way. So right there was a good 9-10 matches. Plus they had 2 other ones. Plus they had Larry Sweeney coming out. But it was one of the most, aside from King of Trios, it was one of the most well-paced deals that I've seen for a while as far as indie wrestling. The matches weren't too long, but they were enough to showcase all the talent. Azrael was another one that was there that we haven't seen in IWC for a while. And just a lot of real good talent. Return of the Gambinos, new champions, Jason Gorey and Facade.
Who, by the way,
that
I
is the
really
greatest tag name I've ever seen in my life.
That's what I was just about to say.
Flippin' Ain't Easy.
Flippin' Ain't Easy is the name of it. So, and I don't know if you caught it, they actually rappelled from the balcony for that.
What?
Yeah. They had a grappling hook hooked up, and they actually, came down ropes from the balcony. So I don't know if they have any pictures up here yet or anything. I guess not.
Better.
I guess right here. I'm sure there's going to be a video soon. There's some pictures. There's Shima, who won the tournament, declaring himself the new Super Hentai. And there's a picture of all the participants there. Really good stuff all around. Of course, they don't have another show going on until Clearfield Cataclysm, which is an event very near to my heart for reasons. In July, and they've already announced a bunch of matches for that. They announced matches for Cage Fury, including Jimmy DeMarco and a partner of his choice against Bolin and John McChesney, who now comprise Big League, and supposedly the first pick is Chuck Roberts. Who's supposed to be? Oh, there we go. We do have graphics for that already, and Larry Sweeney as the special enforcer, and then whoops, what did I hit there? And then Super Indie title match, Shima and Hentai in a cage. So already shaping up to be really good when they come back here in what month is this? I think August.
I believe so.
So really good stuff. Really good stuff. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I did get, I might have mentioned before, I did get a couple DVDs of Absolute Intense Wrestling. And talked to John Thorne and all of them up there. I've been hearing a lot of stuff. A lot of guys that we talk to down here in Pittsburgh go up there. Aeroformer up there. A lot of great stuff up there. I picked up 2 of them. Drag to Hell, which I think is one that we had Chris Thorne on talking about late last year, and Gauntlet for the Gold. Didn't get through the entire things. Watched a few key matches that I was interested in, seeing some of the guys and that I'd heard about or know in it. And while some of the wrestling is really it's definitely a more hardcore. A lot of their stuff's in bars, and everything. A lot more. I think they're trying to be a more ECW gritty feel, which I understand. But I think they might have changed this in their last event. But there's no hard camera. It's 2 cameras at ringside. I know they edited it afterwards. Very jerky, kind of to watch. Especially on a 42-inch TV, it was kind of rough to watch.
Yeah, that's the thing I noticed about watching just clips of AIW stuff. They don't have a hard camera.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that kind of intrigues me is that they do their commentary live.
Yeah. They have loudspeakers set up there in the venue, so everybody hears the commentary. There's actually, I was watching one with a friend of the show, Marshall Gambino, and they were talking about him and talking about how they thought that he felt about the competition in AIW because he was new there and everything. And he just turns, and he's like, "I can fucking hear you, And it was great. It was just like and he acknowledges that it's not like the wrestlers ignore it and everything. But I was wondering, you guys, I know, LB, you've watched a lot of Ring of Honor, a lot of other stuff.
See,
you're checking out a lot of stuff there, WrestleFan. I mean, what when you see a DVD like this, what makes you want to get another one, or is you see a DVD like that, is it something that kind of stops you from wanting to grab another one from that company or not?
Well, I can speak from experience. I don't pick up a lot of IWC DVDs, or at least I used to not buy a lot of them. It's because when we started going there, they didn't play very well. They didn't agree with my DVD player, let me say.
Oh, okay. Which is, but a lot of these are DVDs, DVD-Rs and everything, because they're lower companies, so you can kind of expect that.
Right. But now the reason I don't buy a lot of independent wrestling DVDs is unemployment. So that's pretty much all it's holding me back.
But still, from what you did see and everything, what was something positive that would, maybe go over the production value, or a production value that you just kind of called off buying another one?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty much it. It's the production value. It's, whether you can hear. My biggest pet peeve, and this happened in a lot of the early Ring of Honor DVDs, was people would cut long promos on the house mic and you couldn't understand a word they said.
Mm-hmm.
And that really stopped me from picking up more DVDs. I have one where it was when Matt Hardy was in Ring of Honor and he wrestled Roderick Strong. That was it. And he cut this big long promo and I had no fucking clue what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, something like that always gets on my nerves. Like sound quality. I'm big on sound quality.
Yeah.
What about you, WrestleFan? I know you've watched a lot of stuff.
I definitely think production goes a lot into it. I have a good series of Ring of Honor DVDs and Chikara DVDs, and I think the first time I ever bought a Ring of Honor DVD, I was a little bit worried about the production. Same with when I bought Chikara DVDs. They make it very clean. I think it does, like we mentioned before, the interchange play between the hard cam and some of the ringside cameras. I think it's pretty interesting. And another thing that kind of appeals to me when getting a DVD is looking at names, the names that are going to show on the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look into nowadays. I used to be, obviously, you wouldn't know since I'm running the Indie Minute segment, but I wasn't that big into indie wrestling a couple of years ago. I didn't know a lot of names and stuff like that. Over the past couple of years, I've started to get more into it, and when I see guys, that I can recognize into, and it's definitely one of the main reasons I buy DVDs.
Definitely. I think a lot of times with the independent wrestling DVDs and everything, I think it's a lot like the shows. I mean, we first started going to IWC because we saw a couple names like Low Key or whoever else. But you see a lot of the talent, and hopefully that's what keeps you coming back for more. But it's kind of a barrier. Are you seeing a lot of guys that look like they belong in that ring for the first point, which is always a problem with independent wrestling.
Right.
I think that's a big barrier. People complain, why aren't people kind of putting their money into indie wrestling? Because a lot of the general public just think it is a bunch of people that weren't good enough for the WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, I've heard enough commentary just sitting in the crowd at a big IWC show or something. I think the last time Samoa Joe was there, maybe it was a Call to Arms a couple years. Actually, it was the big one. It was the big 100th double shot, weekend for Norm Connors, and like Samoa Joe was there and all those other guys. And then like the guys behind me, pretty drunk and everything, they were like, well, hey, wow, what's happened to Samoa Joe that he's at a show like this, and at the time, I think he might have been the TNA champion, people don't understand that they're not out there because they're not in WWE. They're out there because this is another booking and this is another chance to wrestle, and they're making money,
I think the general populace thinks that they don't know that there's independent wrestling events or anything like that. If I've said to anybody, I wrestled a couple matches back in the day, they'll say, "You were in WWE?" No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No.
And the same people, I mean, I've had to explain to a few people about the shows that I go to. They're like, "Oh, these guys, are pretty big, and they talk to you and stuff." It's like, no, they, a lot of them have day jobs, a lot of independent wrestlers that, some of them are big enough that they get enough dates they can live on, but, not a lot that you see locally,
Right. And another thing is this is for me personally, I don't know about you guys. I view, when I get to see names, smaller names, maybe most recently I've gotten DVDs for like a Johnny Gargano, or people like Aeroform that were at IWC recently.
Mm-hmm.
I look at them and I see some of the stuff, like highlights and stuff I see on the internet. I'm like, I love to just pick up a DVD where I can just see them in an actual match. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, that's another thing that kind of appeals to what DVDs to get, who you want to see, who you want to give a chance to, who you want to show, what it's all about.
Yeah, a lot. YouTube's has to have done a lot for independent wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how much Chikara puts into their podcasts. I mean, granted, you're only seeing maybe a minute of a match. A lot of times, the end of a match.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what you find on their own show, but it keeps you into it. And if you see enough good stuff, hear about like a King of Trios and lead up to that, you're probably going to buy the DVD or all 3 DVDs in that case.
Yeah, and I always, when I started first watching the Chikara podcast,
mm-hmm.
I got kind of worried when I was looking at matches of that, just clips of matches, saying, well, am I going to want to buy the DVD now? Because, I've just seen, clips of it, but it still kind of intrigues you and still makes you want to, pick it up and see what they're all about.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting, especially I think it's funny, LB's talking about Ring of Honor, and now they have a TV deal, and so people see what it's like now,
mm-hmm.
before they go into the DVDs, and then I wonder how much they've kind of changed their model. Did their DVDs still go for as much now that it's so accessible on TV? And not to mention what you may think of what that product is on TV. That's a whole other discussion that we've had before, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of times as we go here.
Same with showing a lot of their bigger shows, and now they're doing on iPay-per-views,
mm-hmm.
or in pay-per-views, I should say.
Which a lot of them are having that. There was discussions why doesn't more independent wrestling, maybe some of the feds around here get into that, or Cleveland, because CZW, Chikara, they have these web pay-per-views, or you can watch their shows. I think you can watch CZW's weekly syndicated show for free on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put big events on there. Ring of Honor just released their back catalog in an on-demand service, like DVDs that are out of print and everything. So,
and another thing is a good advantage of that for the companies is if you're just ordering a DVD of an event,
mm-hmm.
pretty much the results have already came out. It kind of spoils it a little bit for you, knowing you kind of know what's going to happen.
Especially with Chikara and Ring of Honor, because their turnaround, because they do not live edit their stuff.
Yeah.
They really, I only know IWC is the only one I know that live edits their stuff, and anybody else that operates with Digital Horizons.
IWC DVDs, I'm surprised they come out, within a week of their event.
And any little inside baseball here, but Tony F there, he has a computer. Like when they had their last double shot weekend, he recorded it to the computer, was able to turn around in a night and had at least 5 or 6 copies the next day to sell at the second day's event.
Yeah.
What other company can do that, And that's him. He doesn't just do wrestling. He does a lot of football and other stuff around the area. So, a little bit of his expertise and, getting the right equipment. And that's really what it is. It's being smart about the equipment you have. And we're getting a whole production discussion, which I can throw in another podcast probably, but still,
it's good though.
But these independent wrestling, I heard about one company that put a whole bunch into their HD cameras and everything. It's like, that's great, you got HD cameras, but we all have DVD players still. So is that a proper investment, or is it better to get a bunch of SD cameras, a good system to switch it and live edit it and get it together in a quick, nice package? And somebody that's good at switching. That's a big difference too, because it is a very hard job. I've done it.
Oh yeah.
I've done it for a high school news program, and even that's difficult enough when you have cues, let alone trying to match what's going on with wrestling. So a little bit problem here with the audio. I think we're good. Anyways, I think that's enough about that. We got a lot to talk about Raw and everything else. Of course, it was in Pittsburgh here. So if there's nothing else anybody wants to bring up indie wrestling, LB, what do we listen to for our next break?
I tell you of Chico. He was my friend. As children, we played together in forest. But my father warned us not to go too far. There are hunters at edge of forest. But Chico, curious, he always say, Lunchbox, please let us go off to the edge of the forest. Over and over and over. So finally, one day, I chopped his head off. Javelin or Cedra. Mayhem Show.
Keep you in guys, it's Mad Mike here, once again with your top 10 list for the week. And this one's a really good one. It's the top 10 real reasons TNA moved to Thursday nights. Number 10, they didn't feel they could compete with reruns of NCIS. Number 9, they wanted to give Ring of Honor a shot at getting back the 3 viewers they lost. Number 8, Thursdays are Seniors Get In Free Day at Universal Studios, so they don't have to get tickets for half their roster. Number 7, all of Jeff Hardy's court trials seem to be scheduled for Mondays. Number 6, Dixie Carter wanted to honor the memory of the Designing Women time slot by not running against it. Number 5, they wanted to make the WMS theme song more relevant again. Number 4, going head-to-head against Raw seems so WCW, and they're trying to avoid that. Number 3, as Thunder has proven, you can get a 2.0 on Thursday nights. Number 2, they thought Reaction would work a lot better once people have had a chance to read the spoilers. And number 1, Hulk Hogan is still hopeful to be on next season's Dancing with the Stars. Well, I'm Mad Mike, and this is just 10 of the things that have been swirling around in my brainwaves.
This is the Snapshot CJ Sensation sweeping the nation, and you're listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Nice.
That was better than your 2 attempts, Norm. Eat shit. Let's fuck some hoes!
DJ Lunchbox of the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Oh, I'm sorry, champ. I think I ate your chocolate squirrel.
At WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
It's impossible! Okay. It's impossible!
Hey, Sorg, you can
You're
get
not my
Mayhem
father!
Wars.
What?
Mayhem Wars.
Mayhem Wars. Grand.
That thing I made.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Wrestling Mayhem Show. I just remember what you're talking about.
Wrestling Mayhem Show.
All right, this is Mayhem Show 218. The whole crowd's here. It's
I'm
busy.
all frozen. I'm just going to put up a picture and be done with it.
It's busy in there. Darth Sidious Lunchbox is there on the right in your video feed.
Darth Lunchbox.
Darth Box. Anyways,
this picture seems
that what the
oddly
D stands
appropriate for the time being.
Okay.
Is it Tax Snatch?
No, not Tax Snatch.
That would be the most appropriate.
Yes.
Anyways, we're trying to do a show here, and more importantly, we need to talk about our sponsor, Audible.com.
Audible.com is awesome.
Audible, well, I don't know about that, but Audible.com right there. You can support this show and get yourself a free audiobook by visiting audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. And they tell me, no, that's wrong. Oh, there's over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, MP3 player, iPad, your Android device. I'm sure it'll work on a BlackBerry if you're unfortunate enough to have one of those.
Actually, Audible does not work on the Droid yet, but it did work wonderfully on the.
They're working on that. I did hear they're working on that. Sorry about that.
Yes,
but I mean, you can convert it and turn it into MP3 and it'll work anyways. You know, you turn it into a CD, stick it in your car, roll with it. But right there, you can go to that address and get your free audiobook. We like to recommend things because that's what all the podcasts do. But really, I like that, and I like we listen to audiobooks. LB listens to audiobooks, and I think we both listened to this one.
Almost constantly, yes.
I just finished this the other day. The Areas of My Expertise by John Hodgman.
Truly an amazing audiobook. I recommend it to anyone who has ears, and anyone with a sense of humor.
Is this the one that you were talking about, that you were tweeting, whatever you were tweeting at lunchtime yesterday, I told you about?
What? Which? No. That was a movie I was watching on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
No, this one is in the
Jonathan Hodgman. LB has sent me this one. It's amazing.
You mean he sent you the recommendation for you to buy there, Mad Mike? Explain. You know more about this, LB. I just finished it. I'm still absorbing all this information. What's it about for the uninitiated?
Well, essentially, it's a self-titled book of fake trivia. The Apple PC, I'm a Mac, I'm a PC, those ads.
Mm-hmm.
John Hodgman is PC. He's hilarious. He is a geek warlord, essentially, excuse me. And this is his first book, his book of fake trivia. It is absolutely amazing from beginning to end, including the section on hobos, 700 hobo names, history, as there is always more of it, which presidents had hooks for hands,
I
the
found that really
audiobook
interesting.
especially is fantastic because there's Mr. Jonathan Colton makes an appearance, as well as a
Yes.
handful of other celebrities.
Yes, I especially enjoyed the 50 states and the songs for each of the 50 states and the unknown history of them.
Yes, that one was good. I did enjoy that. Also, like I said, this is his first book. He also released a second book called More Information Than You Require, and his third book is forthcoming. And the first two are available on audible.com, but this week's recommendation is The Areas of My Expertise.
That's right. There's a little sample right here.
Believe me, this was the last thing I wanted to do, and I suspect the last thing you wanted as well. But I think we both knew it was inevitable. Certainly my publisher felt that it was, frequently pointing to my contract and its damned inevitability clause, which I should never have agreed to. But I did, and so now, here we are. I say good evening, though of course I don't know what time it is where you are. That is one of the defining sorrows of books and audiobooks, that we cannot see each other. Of course, it might have been different had my publisher inserted the camera I designed to fit snugly into your audio-playing device in order to spy on you, but this was determined to be too expensive and too illegal, and so we are left once again to our imaginations.
Well, there you go. It's
wow.
It's about 4 CDs, 4, 5, 6 CDs of that. But really good stuff.
Positively amazing.
Yes, if you're a fan of his humor on the Daily Show, it's good.
It's also worth mentioning he is a frequent contributor to my other show, This American Life. He's done audio for them, and he's also a writer for various media outlets.
So there you go, audiopodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Go there and help support the Wrestling Mayhem Show by doing that. So, but Nate, it's time for the Open Talkie Roundtable. That's what I'm calling it now. The Open Talkie Roundtable. Hot Pockets?
Try Lean Pockets, too.
What?
Lean Pocket.
So I was reading something there that said, why don't Hot Pockets...
Sorry, I've seen that at work.
Why don't Hot Pockets even look good on the box?
Hot Pockets look amazing.
Lots of stuff going on. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. You need to go to the right link. You just...
No, that is incorrect.
No, that Twitter is wrong. That Twitter is wrong. It's audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Take some characters there. All right, let's...
Podcast.com-what?
Sorgatron.
Did you say hotpocketpodcast.com?
Hot Pocket
Podcast.
Now there's an idea. There's an idea.
You can also check out John Hodgman at his websites. More information than you require.com and areas of my expertise.com.
There you go.
I want to change the name of my blog to hotpocketspodcast.com.
Even though you're not a podcast?
I'm not hot, nor my pocket, nor my podcast. Discuss.
Anyways.
Wrestling.
Well, the first thing, of course, we starting to know people kind of in the know, up there in Sanford, Connecticut, and oddly, since then, there's been a bomb scare thanks to Mickey James being let go, and now there's a sexual harassment case. What's going on, WWE?
Stamford, Connecticut, born and raised.
No.
On the playground is where I spent.
Well, we actually went through Philadelphia singing that a lot.
And a couple of guys.
WWE VP reportedly suspended for sexual harassment during WrestleMania 26 weekend. Says ProWrestling.net executive vice president Jared Bartle
and James
gazing longingly at our logo.
What?
You're gazing at our logo. It's great.
No.
Anyways,
God, I fucking put that picture up an hour ago. Why is this shit working?
He was
Motherfucker.
suspended
Sorg, I'm holding
for
you personal responsible for
inappropriately hitting on a female accuser in Arizona during the weekend, according to blah, 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 blah. He was described as having been drinking, hit inappropriately on a female accuser who I believe was an executive for the sales department. Don't know.
I thought it was legal.
Legal? I heard sales. I heard sales from another website. But of course, you know, pro wrestling news is so dependable. Yeah, holy shit. Here's another one here. He was removed. Vice President General Counsel Jerry Barty from most of the executive officers. He was actually removed from WWE corporate website. Still listed on the page on Monday when we pass along the story from Irvin Munchnick.
Munchnick.
See if this actually doesn't have the information. Munchnick's story is at wrestlingbabylon.wordpress.com if you want to check that out. It's a WordPress blog. That's a great source for news. So interesting stuff there, and somebody that we have never heard of. In other legal news, did you hear about the riot that Great Khali caused by not showing up? Apparently, a riot occurred at Toe de Vie Stadium in India. I believe the other story I don't have in front of me here said that he was booked for this event, but also ended up contractually obligated to show at a television event or a sporting event or whatnot. So he was unable to appear. They notified the promoter, Indian promoter D.S. Babar, like the elephant,
like that elephant thing.
It must be. Yeah, there you go. And he was arrested Saturday night for cheating and criminal breach of trust following the riot. He continued to advertise Great Khali even after he was informed that he would not be able to appear. So that's where he fucked up. So
that bastard.
Well, we've heard about how big he is in India, and how they go pretty nuts for him and edit shows around his losses and stuff.
Get it? How big he is?
Well, he was the only actual Indian wrestler from India, right?
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah,
he was the world champion.
We don't count
the Indian wrestlers that aren't from India,
as opposed to the Indian wrestlers who are American Indian wrestle fan. Jeez, I was trying to be correct.
Like Tatanka?
Or the
yes,
no. Okay.
Or the wrestlers who are Indian but actually from Detroit. You know, Sabu.
Yes, exactly. Friend of the show, Tavari.
That's right. Also, TNA news. Matt Morgan discusses TNA power structure. Apparently, Homicide was on this Busted Open radio show a few weeks ago talking about he doesn't know who's in charge at TNA and who to report to. There's a few quotes here from Matt Morgan. He says it's a teamwork atmosphere and that I know what I'm going to do. I can call Vince Russo on the phone and he'll tell me. I can pull Eric Bischoff aside or even Hulk Hogan. Me versus Hernandez is a great example that he helped devise along with Eric Bischoff and Vince, all three of them. Sat me and Hernandez in an office one day and came up with how me and Hernandez were going to get into that match, and that's the way it works. The end-all be-all boss, yeah, that's Dixie Carter. As far as what goes on television, you got to go around and ask. You should want to go around and make what you're about to be present to the product as good as possible. Now, one thing I know is interesting there is they don't give them a script like they supposedly do in WWE. And I think it kind of shows in a lot of the promo work.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
personal
one thing.
Request for Matt Morgan.
Okay.
He just revealed the information that he has Vince Russo's phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, this is Papa Lunchbox talking. You know you can trust me. Send a message on over to the Wrestling Mayhem show.
Send on over to this blurry bold guy on my screen right now.
Yeah. Just go over to Wrestling Mayhem show. Good times. WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Just a few numbers. Just drop a few numbers. My way over to Vince Russo. I'll see to it that you get what's coming to you, my friend. And I mean that in the best way possible.
That's right. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or 412-206-WMS0. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. You could probably ask Bubba the Love Sponge. I'm sure he'd give them out on the air.
There you go.
Yeah, but then I'd have to talk to Bubba the Love Sponge, and then I'd have to, take a wire brush to my throat.
There you go. And more positive.
But then you could do that on the show, and then we get ratings.
That's true.
Look, I already tore my tooth out for you fuckers.
Well, you're harboring a bloodthirsty audience now, Lunchbox.
That's true. I am. I don't know. I'll come up with
thirsty
something.
for your blood after yanking out your tooth?
What? Anyways, positive news. Bret Hart is a grandfather.
Yay!
Yay! I was sad he wasn't in Pittsburgh last night. By the way, very sad. All right, that's all I got on that one. Sorry.
You don't have who in the Hart family gave birth to a child?
Oh,
this?
It doesn't go down that far. Yeah,
It doesn't.
actually, no, it doesn't.
Bret Hart
It doesn't.
randomly is a grandfather.
Hart's granddaughter is named Kira Beans. I'm sorry. That can't be good even on a playground in Canada.
Kira Beans.
Well, it was a line from Twitter, so French names,
Kira
140
Beans.
characters. Brett's daughter is named Alexandra Sabina Hart.
Ah, well, there you go.
And his nickname, Beans. So it all comes together. Something should have been in indie, I guess. Well, again, is Ring of Honor still indie?
Yes.
Main event of Death Before Dishonor online pay-per-view will feature Tyler Black and Davey Richards for the ROH title, and that will be June 19th in Toronto, Ontario at ROHWrestling.com. They got a pretty slick preview for that match if you want to go check that out. Let's see. Guest host to receive official WWE nickname this Monday. Wait, I didn't see that.
Boy.
It actually, I don't think follows that up in this story.
Official
But anyways,
nickname?
the point of why I grabbed this was Buzz
It's
Aldrin,
Buzz Aldrin
will be on next week. In a was it a 2 hour or 3 hour?
2 hour, no commercials.
2 hour, no commercial Monday Night Raw, which that was fun last time they did it.
I so want to see Buzz Aldrin get RKO'd. Like more than anything ever.
He already got smashed with the chair by Mark Henry. So
I know, and if he's in a spacesuit,
Man.
if he's in a spacesuit and Randy Orton RKO's a spacesuit,
He'd pretty much have to, because you can't just RKO him. He's pretty old and fragile.
Yeah, maybe it'll happen backstage, and they'll have kind of a body double in the spacesuit or something. Come on.
Sorry to interrupt, but just to go on a real side tangent, I know we don't allow spoilers, and I will not spoil anything.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm looking at the results for NXT.
Okay.
Later tonight, after the Mayhem show, check out NXT. All I have to say is WrestleFan angry.
WrestleFan, I think you're WrestleFan.
Angry.
WrestleFan, I think you are reading incorrect reports, because I just had someone aim me saying he was very angry too, and I told him he was an idiot. The report you are reading is incorrect.
Well, I'm getting this report.
You know, wait. Okay, I'm not watching it before. I'm not watching it tonight, and most people, aside from the few in the chat room, aren't gonna. They're the only ones going to be spoiled. So cover your ears if you're in chat room and don't want to hear. So what's going on?
Well, from what it says on ProWrestling.net, because obviously Mad Mike is skeptical.
That's the one he read too.
They start off the show with the rookie elimination.
Okay.
Or no, they start out. Yeah. Apparently, for some reason, I don't know why, but due to their comments made last week on the show, both Michael Tarver and Daniel Bryan were eliminated from the show.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect.
I'll watch it tonight. I don't know.
That is incorrect. What they said last week, because I actually watched NXT last week, they interviewed everyone at the end of the show, and they asked everyone who they thought should be eliminated. Okay. What Daniel Bryan said last week, which is what these idiots who writing the report are confusing, Daniel Bryan said that he should be eliminated because he hasn't won a match. Daniel Bryan said that. Daniel Bryan was not eliminated.
And of course,
Michael Tarver was, and there is another elimination, but it is not Daniel Bryan.
All right.
I just saying, I would sure hope so. I hope to God that's what happened.
He just won on Raw. He just won on Raw.
People are
and besides, it's the pros voting.
People are taking NXT so seriously.
I am.
It's like,
I was so angry.
I don't remember people taking.
I'm reading a report for NXT as well, and it says there's 3 eliminations.
3.
So
we're speeding
That's what I'm
that
saying.
up. I canceled it early.
Michael
There's
Tarver, Daniel Bryan, and someone I will not name just for whatever.
Daniel Bryan is not gone from NXT.
Wotunga.
Oh,
It's not him. I just like saying that.
Yeah.
Everyone likes saying
I just like
Wotunga.
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 Oh, hi, Joe. Jesus Christ. Hi.
What?
My cat says hi, everyone.
Oh. Yeah, it's still you.
Wotunga.
Wotunga.
Are we good?
Dude, Daniel Bryan has been on Raw more than Zack Ryder has this past month. There's no way he's getting eliminated.
This is true. This is
an absolute fact.
Let's see.
I'm just saying a point. Or go ahead.
Where our financials are in for WWE. Are we interested?
Yeah.
I kind of am.
Okay.
Right, Adam.
Are you allowed to buy stock?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you're in luck because the Royal Rumble pay-per-view scored 462,000 buys, which is up from 450. Elimination Chamber drew 285, which is up from 272 for No Way Out at the same time last year. WrestleMania, however, drew 885, which is down from 975 in sales last year. Thousands, of course. Yeah. So, as much as we bitch about WWE, they're making, aside from that WrestleMania number, everything's looking up. So, all in all.
Sorg, you know what that tells me? Gimmick pay-per-views sell.
Gimmick pay-per-views sell, apparently. It gives you something different.
Sells,
and especially
pay-per-view ever.
Since pay-per-views start at $45. $45. For $45, if it's local, I can get 2 tickets to the show. It's ridiculous.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
Is someone having cat pills?
Maybe.
Sorry, that was my cat.
Maybe. Let's see. Their revenues were up $138.7 million as compared to $107.8 million in the same quarter last year. Significant growth in earnings. They attracted 70,000 fans and contributed profits of over $13 million for WrestleMania for their second consecutive year. Looking ahead, faith in future strength and da-da-da. Buy our stock, keep buying our stock. Thank you for supporting us, da-da-da-da-da. So, there you go. So, WWE is doing fine. Not even a little bit phased by the so-called competition. And then there's TNA, running and hiding. I'm sorry. That's... Yeah,
They really are. They really are.
They really are. It really is. That group just ran with their tail tucked between their legs back to Thursday nights, and there's no other way to put it. I
wonder if they did 7 to 9. If they ran their show 7 to 9 on Monday, if that would have done better.
What time is that? WrestleFan, that's like 6 o'clock for you.
Yeah,
that's dinner time for most people. And West Coast. I imagine there's a delay for West Coast, right? Like Raw isn't at what is it? Raw isn't at 5 o'clock on the West Coast or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That seems like it'd be a little bit too early. Although I did like your line in your top 10 about they couldn't compete with NCIS reruns.
It's very true.
Which is fair. I want to know what NCIS gets. What do you think it gets as a run-in to a 3.2 average Monday Night Raw?
I bet NCIS gets at least like a 1.8.
You think 1.8? I think that's pretty damn good for a rerun. Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can look this up while we're talking.
All right. Actually, intern, can you give some ratings there for NCIS Monday night at 8 o'clock on USA Network?
Interns assemble.
Shit, this is why we need the fact finder. Who's that?
That is Samoa Joe.
What? Oh.
That is Samoa Joe.
I don't know. It looks like LB sleeping in the picture that I have here.
I'm not. I'm definitely not.
Hey, he's Ken Griffey Jr. Relevant humor.
All right. Well.
So wrestling.
Sorg,
did you hear the rumor about who might be hosting Raw on Memorial Day?
Yes, I did, and I watched her on Saturday Night Live, and it was tremendous.
And do you want to know what I want to see happen if Betty White does host Raw?
Dudley Boys come out and put her through a table?
Yes. No. 10 times better, 80 times more awesome.
Okay.
Goldust, Santino, Mae Young, and Betty White as the Golden Girls.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Yes, it can, will, and nay, should happen.
I don't even know where they would start with her on
I may even Photoshop a picture and put it on a door somewhere.
I didn't see on the Hulu stream, but I heard they did a Golden Girls thing on Saturday Night Live. That was probably the one thing I didn't see. I know they don't put everything up there. Although any interaction between her and Jay-Z would have been awesome. Well, I'm trying to grab it here. Let's go a little bit about Raw. Of course, like we attended, it was the last show, last ever Raw at Mellon Arena. I want to show you the seats I got. All right, now I made a mistake. Last year, I think we went to SmackDown. You know, I did walk-up seats. I was like, hey, I'm not really worried about it, whatever, And I thought I can walk up. I'll get up in the balcony. It'll be fine. That was not the case. And let me see if I can get the picture here. There it is. I was literally, remember how we were in the back row, Mad Mike, for Royal Rumble?
Uh-huh.
That is not comparable seating at Mellon Arena. I see why we're updating, okay? It is most certainly not comparable seating, and I really feel bad for the Silent Ninja and wife/intern of the show for my bad decisions going into the show. Although we did all decide to go as a group the day before, the 2 days before. So this is really our options were our options at that point. But let me grab here.
Hey Sorg. I just found ratings for a random week of NCIS.
Okay, so this is what it averages.
Is this the reruns or is this the
reruns? The rerun, a random rerun that they showed on USA.
Yeah,
it got a 3.0.
You get a 3.0 on USA. Hey, well, isn't it the highest rated show on CBS or whatever it's on?
I think
overall. So there you go. All right, let me show this picture here. Right there. There's my view from the rafters, literally hanging from the rafters. This is what they mean when they say that, is this picture right here. No, yeah, there's the ramp, and there's a little bit of the stage. That is it.
Oh, wow, so you really had Bob Uecker seats.
Yes, we had some Bob Uecker seats. The poor child beside us was actually behind that pillar right there and could not see the ring. Then there's TVs a little bit to the right there, but they weren't on. I picked these because the only option was the obstructed view from behind the screen, and I think the only disadvantage to those would have been that we would have not been able to hear from all the concussion blasts. Because I've done that when we went to Armageddon before. So yeah, there you go. We got some classic Mellon Arena seating right there. But we were there. Actually, if I turned around, I could touch the dome. The dome is right there.
You can touch the melon.
I can touch the melon, the inside of the melon. It was fantastic. Actually, when we were getting up to leave, a few Pens jerseys guys went over, and they got a picture of kissing the dome. So, which
nice.
You don't know where that melon's been, man.
Sorg.
Wow.
The name of this show is Wrestling Mayhem Show. Touching the melon.
Touching the melon. That's right. What did I
Touching the melon.
Oh, this mouse is on him. So we're hitting the wrong thing. All right, but Raw last night was really interesting. Flavor Flav. You would not believe how many people went for Flavor Flav. I was like, okay, maybe a lot of people are here because it's the last night and everything. No, there are Flavor Flav fans all over Pittsburgh, and they all converged on Mellon Arena last night. I couldn't believe it. There was a group of guys in the front of the E section and all had the Viking hats going on and everything. It was pretty ridiculous. So the other thing actually Missy was the bright one that realized that Justin TV was on the iPhone. So we were actually, since we couldn't see the video screen, we were watching all the vignettes via the stream of USA on our phones about a minute later and get a little bit of commentary. So if we missed something, we got an instant replay on anything we wanted about a minute later. For a while, we were watching Sky Sports, so we had soccer commercials too. But it was pretty cool.
That's tremendous.
I think for a live show like that, that's how I'm going to intend. I guess Raw is my only option, but I think that's how I'm going to intend to watch it from now on. Because I know she has a problem. She doesn't like not having the commentary because it's a lot of the story, especially when you're again this far away from the ring to get the story. But but that was my experience. It was definitely something I'll remember for all the right and wrong reasons. And I got to attend the last show there at Mellon Arena. So,
how was the retrospective that they played?
There was no retrospective that I'm aware of.
Oh, all right.
They didn't play it?
Not that I'm aware of. I somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it happened.
Well, I know it didn't show on TV, but I heard they're at least going to show it for the live fans.
That's what I heard too, but I didn't see it. I didn't see any video that anybody's reacting to that I'd be like, oh, what's this? There's a lot of WrestleMania videos. They had have shown like 6 WrestleMania videos. I was getting really sick of it. But they're still playing Ladies and Gentlemen.
Hey, I like that one.
Yeah, but just this long after WrestleMania for it to still be really just kind of ran down everybody's throats. Like even bragging rights, there's a lot of WrestleMania retrospective stuff, and that was in October.
Yeah, but at everything there's a lot of WrestleMania. And plus, WrestleMania just came out on DVD.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's probably why.
Well, I think I went to SmackDown one time in my arena, and they had the WrestleMania retrospective 2 weeks before the next WrestleMania.
So they showed last year's before this coming up. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's to remind you WrestleMania's coming up.
That was the other thing. The Silent Ninja actually never sat in his seat.
What?
He could not fit in his seat up that high.
They didn't have room for his bag of jawbones?
No, obviously not. I think that was, we'll be talking to the management of Mellon Arena for that. Yeah.
Hey, at least you got to see Meatloaf live.
Got to see Meatloaf. I think my mom's going to be really jealous at that one.
He would do anything for love, even get RKO'd.
Yeah. Well, I like how he tossed the DVD or the CD out of the ring. It broke apart on the apron. and then he went back for like the liner notes or something. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Well, Sorg, maybe that's what he meant when he said it drops.
That was so random. Was that weird for you guys too? That Meatloaf was there?
I tuned in just in time to see Meatloaf in the ring with Randy Orton. I thought, maybe maybe this is an old stream of an old Raw. Why is Meatloaf?
Yeah. And now, hosting. Imagine my position. We didn't see the giant video that said Meatloaf all over it. So we're like, why is this guy screaming at us? So
that's amazing.
And I got really confused that maybe Flavor Flav canceled. And then there was going to be a riot. That would have been worse than John Cena not showing up.
Yeah, I heard that the Mellon Arena was like literally chock full.
Oh, it was. Like I actually, I talked to an usher about the problem with the seating and everything with like not fitting in it, and see if we could get even up an F section where we weren't obstructed. And he was like, "No, this place is sold out. We can't move anybody." So it was pretty ridiculous. Although there were a lot of empty seats in front of us, regardless. So. I think people just don't make it to their seats sometimes at Mellon Arena.
I finally got those numbers that you were looking for.
No, we got numbers. What are they?
They rank 3rd after WWE with 4,790 million viewers.
That's NCIS?
NCIS reruns USA on Monday 8 to 9.
Do they have like a point thing? That's probably like actually that might be like a 3. That might be a 3.0.
It doesn't show what it is. They come in 3rd after WWE, and WWE is broken down between hours 9 to 11. 10 to 11 is the first slot, 9 to 10 is the second slot, and then NCIS is ranking it in for the 3rd slot.
Yeah, I think they specifically split it up for ratings purposes. Like I don't know if you ever noticed, I think they still have the Raw Zone graphic for the second hour. They don't really acknowledge it too much anymore. But still there, still around. So, anything else from last night you guys want to talk about? Anything going on? Because apparently it's the only wrestling that happened this week. I guess, SmackDown was interesting. From
SmackDown
what
was,
I've heard.
SmackDown had like everything I predicted coming true.
The firing of Drew McIntyre?
No, the Lay Cool calling Kelly Smelly Kelly, and the mini tournament for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah. I only saw a couple of things from SmackDown. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I was surprised that we already had finals in our Intercontinental tournament. It's like, all right, sure.
Now it's over. Or it's almost over.
And thank you.
Well, I think it's just... I think Mr. McMahon's going to come back and reinstate Drew. And then it'll be like the winner of the tournament versus Drew.
And then we'll have 2 Intercontinental titles, and then we'll have a ladder match for it with both of them hanging.
Yes.
And what a coincidence. The 2 guys in the finals are either Christian or Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Both of them would be awesome in a ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Phil. And the fact of the day has been twittered. Our NCIS ranks higher in reruns than TNA and Live on Monday nights. And actually, I think it said 400,000 or 400 million? No, 400,000 you said, right?
4,000, and then that's like they had 4,700 and something, and that's actually in millions.
So
that's
confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing.
So it's like 4,738,000 or something like that?
Yeah.
And you know what's the really funny part is? Some of these NCIS reruns are like from 6 years ago.
So maybe if TNA just played episodes from 6 years ago on Monday night.
They didn't suck as bad 6 years ago.
No, really. Hey, you'd have CM Punk. You'd have
I love TNA from 6 years ago.
You'd watch like a match of CM Punk with like Chris Sabin or something. Then you watch CM Punk in Straight Edge Society. That'd be amazing.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, why isn't TNA is like, yeah, we had CM Punk, you know?
Because they don't want to remember that, yeah, we lost CM Punk.
Hey, Ron Killings was a champion. Remember that guy? Oh, yeah, he's our truth. He just sang with Flavor Flav.
Oh, I found another article that actually has their numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
4.72 million viewers. So, yeah, it's over 4 million viewers.
4 million viewers.
It's still not a point, like a Nielsen point.
No, it doesn't give a
average
Nielsen
yet.
point,
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
really high.
That's way higher than a 0.5. We know that. It's got to be. So, because I hear him laughing, but I see that serious face going on. All right, guys. On that note, is there any other news to report this week that we're interested in?
Randy Orton has officially become Steve Austin.
Yeah, pretty much. Vicky Guerrero had the shortest reign as GM.
Yeah,
I think she'll be back. She'll be back.
I think you're right.
Interesting notes. I've talked before. I like watching the video monkeys run around during the show, and Missy pointed out something at the end there. There's actually, and I noticed that on another point too, the video guys actually cue the wrestlers at certain points. Like at one point going up the ramp after he beat up Mark Henry with a chair, I saw like Batista would like stop and like the camera guy would actually hold up a finger for him to wait a minute or whatever that meant. Maybe it meant go up the ramp or something. Misty saw Vicky Guerrero get cued to stand up at the end there. When Randy Orton was up against him. So it's really interesting to see how they kind of orchestrate the show, you know, as always. So, and we got a really good view of their production behind the camera on the hard cam. So, man, I want one of those systems. This podcast would be so much cooler at that point. Man, not running off of a Mac Pro and all these other computers I found in dumpsters. Anyways, guys, I think it's time to learn. WrestleFan, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
One of the things I learned in wrestling this week, just recently, is that Mad Mike better be right about the NXT spoilers being wrong. Because if not, I am breaking shit. A lot of shit.
As long as you film it. That may be a special edition. Send it to me for the gold, alright?
Yep.
That's always good stuff. Mad Mike.
Yes, sir.
What'd you learn from wrestling this week, sir?
I learned that I am really, 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 really going to enjoy the tag team of Chris Jericho and The Miz.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Honestly, I hope they don't get the belts, though, because I want the Hart Dynasty to have it for a little bit.
Well, no, they have to win the belts because Brett's going to win that U.S. title next week. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
I'm going to be surprised.
To answer Juggalo John, he asked, does Comcast Dish or whatever count ratings, or is it still third-party guys? Yeah, from what I understand, it's still the Nielsen family system. Like, there's various people. A few years ago, I got the same thing for radio. Like, I'm pretty sure they send out for volunteers, and they put, like, either a box in their home, or maybe they're still doing an analog, like, in a notebook, like when I did the radio ratings for a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Us watching TNA or WWE doesn't matter, okay? You watching it, unless you got a Nielsen box and you know you're a Nielsen family, it doesn't fucking matter if you watch it that you're supporting the show. It matters if these select people, these, and I've always had a problem with this, because the way I understand it, this select group of people, this sample of people in America, it's based on theirs. Basically, each one of them is a vote for so many thousands of people. It's like a selective voting process to get these ratings. And so much rides on it. All that money for all that advertising rides on what this select group of people representing all of us watches. And
that's entirely true.
It's really fucked up if you think about it. So you wonder how, like, well, why does a show like Chuck almost get canceled, and then they get a giant campaign, a giant write-in campaign from enough people that make it look like it's worth sticking on TV? That's why. Because you're actually not getting represented. And I don't know how they select the people that do. So.
Well, I think they taken DVR recordings into account now, which is a bit more accurate because DVR, you don't have to be a Nielsen box.
That's what they're told. No, see, now I thought that was still a Nielsen thing, The only thing, like, I heard they were going to maybe start counting it, like, putting it in everybody's boxes, but then it's like, then they're kind of an invasion of privacy. Wouldn't they need permission, in the long run?
It's part of the user agreement.
Is it now?
It's the equivalent of when you install a program and you say, can you send third-party information?
Yeah, when you receive
quality feedback, it's the same thing. It's part of the user agreement with DVR and things like that.
Okay. So they are more counting those, but it's still it's only got to be so much. But I don't know. I need to research more on the topic personally. I don't know completely how they may have evolved it, which likely they haven't over the years as much. But from the chat room, Sasquatch learned he needs to quit asking you guys what to do with his beard, but he's going to keep asking.
Mike Knox.
Mike Knox, Sheamus, we got them all coming out at him.
TNA is interested in Mike Knox. Taz wants to bring
Shelly Martinez.
No.
Hold on. Wrestle Missy. Wrestle Missy, what'd you learn?
What?
I learned that I need to get tickets when we go to the shows instead of you.
Sorg getting insulted.
It was a bad judgment, and it's not like if I would have gotten tickets weeks before, it would have been just me going. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it.
Well, Sorg, you could have told me. I would have taken off work and taken the $2 bus down.
Isn't that kind of redundant in the long run, though?
I got stuck behind a mega bus the other day, and I fucking geeked out.
You didn't hear me scream when I noticed the megabus when Mad Mike was there. It passed us. I'm like, oh my god, there's a megabus, let's go. And I was so excited because there's a megabus, and then there's a giant guy on the back, and it's double ducker, and it's fucking amazing looking.
We should get Megabus to sponsor the Wrestling Mayhem show.
That'd be awesome. LB, what'd you learn from... But how much could they pay us for only $2 a pop? Seriously. LB, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Edge is still awesome.
All right.
He can just do whatever the hell he wants, and he's still fucking fantastic.
I'm watching that and mostly listening to that promo at the beginning, and it felt like a scripted promo from Raw vs. SmackDown 2008. Did anybody else get that feeling? Was it just me there in the arena? Did it come off on TV that way?
Not really. It kind of seemed like Raw from 1998. Like you have Austin in the ring, and then corporate Rock comes out and says, "I talked to the home office."
Why does Edge have all this stroke? You know, I mean, really, he
bangs everyone
because he bangs everyone.
Hey,
why isn't he?
Fan, he was not involved in the sexual harassment lawsuit.
Why isn't he? Yeah, why isn't he not involved in the sexual harassment lawsuit and this other guy is? Or is that an interesting coincidence that both happened on Monday?
The plot thickens.
Yes.
Okay, Sorgatron, what'd you learn this week?
Oh, God. What did I learn?
Maybe you learned that Mark Henry is communist.
What?
What?
Because he hit a chair shot at Buzz Aldrin.
Oh, yeah.
And he was wearing
Mark
red.
Henry hates space.
I remember now.
Mark Henry hates space. I learned that Frightmare is not Jason Gorey. Confirmed. I'm not going to tell you how I confirmed it, but I confirmed it.
I still don't believe you.
You still don't believe me. Man, I've seen it with my own two eyes.
You think I trust your eyes, Sorgatron?
And I saw the most interesting promo that is not going to end in a blindfold match, from what I understand. But
a blindfold match.
Yeah, I'll get into that one off air. But no, I had a lot of fun in Super Indie as usual. A really good show. Feel really good about what they're doing there. Glad to be at the Mellon Arena for their last show and everything for WWE. So, and looking forward to actually good seats in an arena locally. So, all right, guys. On that note, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can check us out, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Hit us on Twitter @Mayhem Show. Our phone number is 412-206-WMS0. Drop us a line. Tell us what you love, what you hate about the show, what you think about LB's haircut, and send pictures of your matching haircuts to goodtimes@WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Good times.
Sorg.
Yes.
I have a challenge for you.
And he has a challenge.
Yes, it's for you.
For me.
Put your razor where your mouth is.
Whoa.
And match my haircut. Bald. Shave it and then bick it, my friend. Smooth as a baby's hind.
I don't think it's going to work with this noggin. I don't think it's going to work with this noggin, man.
Make it happen.
I think
Sorg.
Your head's a little rounder than mine, you know? I don't think
Sorg.
Do it. Look,
Sorg, you will look like Baby Big Show.
Every time I shave my head, I bleed like a motherfucker. Fuck it. You think
I keep the goatee, though, if it happens.
Sorg, you will look like Baby Big Show.
I don't know.
Do it.
Like part of me, I want to do it once in my life, man. You know?
It's totally worth it, especially now. Well, it's not hot now. I shaved my head and it got cold. But
yeah, you got screwed on that deal.
Yes, I did.
Let me wait till June when I'm pretty sure it's going to stay at least above 60. I understand there was snow out by Altoona.
Oh,
that's bullshit.
Altoona.
Blizzard conditions with an inch of snow.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The intern has the
Funny
info.
word.
Baby Big Show.
Do it.
Baby Big Show. Why would I be big? Okay, I guess 6'4", I still would be Baby Big Show.
Exactly, Sorg. And especially if you kept the goatee, you would look exactly like Baby Big Show.
Well, I have a feeling I want to now have to have a talk with my wife about that situation. But
do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. 218. We hope you had a good time too. Please join us Tuesdays at 8:00 p.m. Eastern at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. I'm at Sorgatron.com, at Sorgatron. He's at DJ Lunchbox, at Matt. I'm pointing in random ways because you guys are in the ethereal. At Mad Mike 4883 and at WrestleFan2000. We do things on Twitter and follow that thing for our websites and blogs and everything. Stuff happens on WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Go there. We post things about wrestling. So go check that out. There's a few articles from the last couple weeks. Incredibly Strange Wrestling, stuff like that. And, go check it out. Have fun. Comment on stuff. That works now, I believe. And we'll see you guys next week. We have no plans again. Maybe we'll have a guest. We'll see if this intern works out. Maybe we'll have a sexual harassment lawsuit even though we're married. Who knows? See you
Go
guys.
see Iron Man 2. Stay through the credits.
Stronger than a moose.
Thank you for listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Please subscribe to our iTunes streams and blog at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Email us at goodtimes@WrestlingMayhemShow.com or call us with any comments at 412-206-WMS0. We love to hear from our fans, and who knows, maybe you'll make it onto the show.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show was recorded live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in front of a live internet audience, and is a production of Sorgatron Media.
You can be part of the show as we record live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on TalkShoe.com and Ustream.tv.